Lauder Station, Central Otago. This is merino country, and at its heart, farmer Grant Calder and his loyal working dogs.
Teddy Polly, Teddy Polly.
With his heading dogs, Grant directs a herd of sheep until they resemble a tightly wound ball of wool. But 4 years ago, his whole world unravelled.
At the scene of the accident up there, when I was lying in the snow, not knowing whether I could breathe or whether I was going to live, and I was actually chucking the bat down and giving in, and Robert got my Hunterway dog and pushed his nose into me in the snow and said, well, if you don't want to live for me and Mum and the kids, live for your damn dogs.
Grant's quad bike accident had broken his neck. What did that mean for a man whose life is working the high country?
When I broke my neck, it was like being on the other side of a huge swollen river that had rocks and mud and water going down it, and I just had to sit it out until the river cleared, or my mind cleared.
And he sat it out for months, thinking about the life he'd had.
Twice a year, the Calders round up from the high country 2,500 of their sheep.
Grant's life as a high country farmer was captured in a National Geographic documentary in 1989.
Grant is a champion breeder and trainer of sheepdogs in the tradition of his father and grandfather before him.
And it was a tradition Grant was not prepared to give up. So what pulled you through?
They put you back together screw by screw and bone by bone at Burwood, but you've got to put your own head back together, and what put my head back together was my family, my friends and my dogs.
Recovery was incredibly tough, but with the support of his wife Robin, he hoped he could return to farming. But the accident left Grant with no feeling below the top of his chest and limited use of one hand. And then a year ago, something happened which gave Grant his independence back.
Yeah, Rick, it's Grant here. I was just ringing up to say that she's arrived. The Argo's on the place, cover and heater, and looks bloody marvellous.
Grant hoped the Argo, an all-terrain vehicle, could be modified for a tetraplegic. It had never been done before, but the cocky across the road said he'd take a look.
Once we found out that Granty's machine would actually fit in here by an inch, that was enough. Big smile on his face, and we said, we'll give it a go, and yeah, we'll give it a go.
So Rick Beattie cut up the Argo, moved the fuel tank, added some safety features and a ramp, and gave Grant the gift of a lifetime.
The Argo's actually changed my life completely, given me a brand new life, something to wake up for every day. I can exercise my dogs, get them fit in my dog trials. Gives me independence. Robin knows I'm warm, safe and dry. It's just through Rick, who's a marvellous engineer, he's just made a dream come true, really.
Look at the dirt on the floor, kids, eh? You should clean that up a bit.
I haven't found a car wash that I can put it through yet, or I haven't found a car wash I can put my wheelchair through yet.
Grant can now access most of his 4,500 hectares. Son Robert has taken over as farm manager, but Grant works alongside him.
Where are the rest of the young ones, young cattle?
On the turnips.
People feel sorry for me because I'm the one that broke my neck, but there's a huge commitment from your family.
And in spite of the family's setback, the station still produces some of the best merino wool in the world. But sometimes it's the smallest things that are the hardest.
You know, I've learned an awful lot about life that I would never have learned if I hadn't broken my neck. I've learned to be terribly patient.
He still has a lot of pain, but Grant keeps his focus on his goals.
You've got to have a lot of determination when you're in this job with a broken neck. You've got to keep yourself busy, you've got to have something to think about, you've got to have something to aim for. Every day I get up and go and work a young dog, I achieve something more. Eventually, when you get yourself going, breaking your neck, it's not all bad really. There is, yeah, it's not all bad.